This is the kind of day that you wait all winter for. When you go through those short, gloomy, often cold or cool and damp and wet and cloudy and whatever way you want to describe a winter's day. And you go through all those days to reach this particular point, the middle of April, and the most glorious April day too. And this is one of my favourite stretches of trackway in Sherwood Forest, in particular Clipston Old Quarter. Blackpool is up there, and I'm here today having a wander around this particular part of the forest, and I'm just having a general butterfly count, which I would do wherever I go, anywhere. It's something I always do. I always log any species that I find, no matter where it is and how many there are of them. And there's a butterfly that is largely still missing here in Nottinghamshire. I've had one record, and that was, well, last couple of days at Eakring, and it's two records actually, but possibly the same butterfly a couple of days apart. And it's a small tortoiseshell. Apart from last week, I've not seen a small tortoiseshell since July the 30th, 2025. And it was a species that had done really well in the spring. I've had my best spring ever, probably, or certainly for many years, for small tortoiseshell last spring, and I did at least one video on it, if I remember right. But it produced a second or possibly three quick broods, but after July, I never saw the butterfly again. And I made an inquiry on Facebook to see whether other Nottinghamshire butterfly enthusiasts had noticed the same. There was very little response, of course, but the county recorder came up with some totals, and that there'd been really good numbers in the spring, but after August, or from after July throughout August onwards, there'd been about 12 or so records throughout the whole of Nottinghamshire. So something happened with the small tortoiseshell, and it doesn't appear, as we'd hoped, that maybe it had gone into hibernation early. It usually doesn't in my experience. But while we had no small tortoiseshells here, I do know that other people were seeing them in other parts of the UK. And it still seems to be the case this year for the butterfly. There's been a few reports, no one's seen any numbers, and certainly there's no caterpillars around as yet. So it'd be interesting to hear how other people who subscribe to this channel have found numbers of small tortoiseshell around where they live. Is the butterfly going to make a comeback again, or what? I don't know, but I'll put it out there that the butterfly has declined again, but it's done that before. It did that a couple of years ago, came back last spring and came back really well, but this year I can't find it, and for the last half of 2025 I couldn't find it then either. There are, however, lots of peacocks in this stretch along here. I've counted 13. They're everywhere, and there's good numbers of green-veined whites, and orange tips are doing well too, and willow warbler, as you can hear. So I will keep on my little wander, see if I can turn up a small tortoiseshell. It would be nice. A butterfly that was once an everyday species when I was a kid, but now it's gone extremely hard to find once again.